Are more technical in nature and are here for evaluating the electrical system. Remember, to toggle to meter mode, push the up button for 5 seconds. Average shunt amps. This tells you how many amps are either going into the batteries or being drawn out from them. Battery. This tells you what state of charge your batteries are at currently. Invert charge. This tells you how many amps your inverter is using. Inverter output shows you how much AC or 120 voltage your inverter is producing. AC input. This tells you how much AC power you're receiving from either shore power or your generator. The battery temperature, transformer temperature, and FET temperature are technical screens for service technicians only. Estimated battery capacity. Take the number shown in the screen and multiply it by 8, and it will tell you how many amp hours your battery is capable of holding. This is useful when your batteries are getting older and you want to see how much life they have left in them. Do they make one of these for people? The 50 amp EMS automatically senses the available power to the motorhome. It determines whether it's connected to a 120 volt 30 amp or 50 amp shore power source or generator power. Depending on available power, it controls the operation of 6 possible loads, as indicated on the distribution panel. These may be any type of load, but are typically heavier loads, those whose use can be postponed until a time when current is available for their use. For example, if the available power source is 120 volt 30 amp shore power, it attempts to keep the total 120 volt current draw to less than 30 amps. If the generator is running, the EMS will shut down, as it's not needed in this mode. If only 20 amp service is available, you would need to select the 20 amp service mode by momentarily pressing the 20-30 amp select switch on the control panel. There's a 2-minute time delay after one load is shut off and before another will be activated. The EMS calculates the average load over a 3-hour period and limits the load to 80% of the service rating. For example, if a system operating under 120 volt 30 amp service has been running at the 30 amp limit for 3 hours, the EMS will change its shedding threshold to 24 amps and turn off loads until the 24 amp limit is attained. If you select the 20 amp mode, this limit will translate to 16 amps. Because the EMS calculates a running 3-hour average, if the average load drops below the limit, the system will restore power to loads based on their impact on the limit. If the system is in the averaging mode, the decimal point at the lower right corner of the load meter display on the display panel will illuminate. 4 service type LEDs indicate the source for the 120 volt power. 3 of these sources are automatically detected and indicated by the EMS: the generator, 50 amp shore power, 30 amp shore power. The 20 amp shore power is not automatically detected and must be manually set by pushing the 20-30 amp select button to match the service. Push and hold the generator on-off switch. The generator engine ignition will go into the preheat mode for 2 to 12 seconds, depending on the ambient air temperature. Listen for the generator to crank and run. The switch light will glow solid when the generator is running. Coach power will transfer to the generator in approximately 40 seconds. Generator fuel priming. If you run the main fuel tank below 1/4 of a tank, the generator fuel pickup tube will not be able to supply fuel to the generator. It's designed to quit supplying fuel to the generator at about 1/4 of a tank, so you won't run out of fuel at your campsite while running the generator. Should you inject air into the fuel system, make sure you fill your tank to more than 1/4 full and then prime the generator by holding the start switch to the stop position. This will run the fuel pump only, bringing fresh fuel to the engine and forcing any air in the fuel system back into your main tank via the fuel return line. Be sure to shut off air conditioners and other heavy electrical loads prior to starting the generator. Prior to shutting down the generator, turn off all air conditioners and heavy electrical loads for a couple of minutes to allow the generator to cool. If you should need assistance with your generator while on the road, call 1-800-888-6626. You'll be given the phone and location of the nearest Cummins Power Generation Service Center. Before plugging the power cord into shore hookup, make sure you have the shore power set to the proper setting on the Set Shore Power screen on your inverter, depending on the shore power available. Turn the shore power circuit breaker off. Plug in and then turn the circuit breaker back on. Connect to cable TV if available. Plug in the phone jack. This provides a connection throughout your coach for phone as well as your optional satellite system. Connect the hose to the city freshwater hookup. Be sure to use a hose labeled for potable water to ensure that the hose will not flavor your water. The city water valve must be in the open position. Turn on the water supply. When the water starts to come out of the overflow pipe, shut the water supply off as soon as possible. When you plan on staying hooked up to the shore water supply, turn off the city water fill valve. This will pressurize your coach water system. It's not necessary to use the water pump when you are connected to city water. Make sure you bleed the air out of all of the faucets. The purpose of the gravity fill is to be able to introduce fluids directly into the freshwater tank. This is very useful for the dry camper, who can pack and pour bottled water directly into it. Being able to add antifreeze for winterization is made simpler with a gravity fill. You'll also find disinfecting the water system can be made easier with the gravity fill port. The black dump valve is for discharging solid wastes. The gray dump valve is for other liquid drainage, such as sink water and shower water. Check the hose clamp to be sure it's secured tightly. With the sewer hose properly connected, open the gray dump valve to allow the system to drain. At some point before emptying the system completely, you'll want to close the gray dump valve in order to have at least half a tank with which to rinse the sewer hose. To fill the gray water tank, run water in the showers or sinks. Use the monitor panel to observe tank fluid levels. When the gray tank is half full, stop filling it. Keep the large black water valve closed until you're ready to empty the tanks. When you are ready, open the large black water valve. When that tank is empty, connect a non-potable hose to the flush system fitting and let it run for at least 3 minutes. Open the gray water valve to rinse the lines, then close both valves. The refrigerator can operate with both AC power and LP gas. To start the refrigerator when plugged into shore power or the generator is running, press and hold the on button until the AC light comes on, or put it on auto. In auto, the LP gas will come on automatically if AC power is lost. If you're starting the refrigerator for the first time, or if it's been in storage for more than a couple of months, it could have air in the lines and may need to be cycled several times before the LP reaches the refrigerator to ignite. To cycle the refrigerator igniter, turn the refrigerator on and wait for about 30 seconds for the automatic igniter to light the refrigerator. If it fails to ignite, turn it off, then back on again. Repeat this cycle until the refrigerator burner ignites. The gas light on the refrigerator panel will light up when it's ignited. The coach is equipped with a water heater that's heated by two different methods, 120-volt AC and LP gas. Your coach has probably been winterized by the factory. You'll need to turn the water heater bypass valve to the normal flow position and fill the water heater tank before you turn on the water heater. Make sure to bleed the air out of all of your faucets, including the hot water faucets. Supply the coach with 120-volt AC power from either the generator or shore power. The battery cutoff switch at the entry door must be on, and the batteries must be charged. Plug in the water heater and turn on the switch at the back of the water heater. Turn the LP gas valve at the tank on. Turn on the red switch located on the system's monitor panel labeled 120-volt power. Turn on the red switch labeled heater. This is the gas burner. You will hear an audible roar from the burner when ignited. The indicator light will illuminate briefly, then go out when the water heater is lit. The automatic ignition circuit board will make 3 attempts to light the burner. If the burner does not light by the 3rd attempt, the ignition circuit board will go into lockout. The indicator light will glow steadily when the ignition cycle has gone into lockout. Cycling the on-off switch will reset the ignition board. Again, if you're starting the water heater for the first time, or if it's been in storage for more than a couple of months, it could have air in the lines and may need to be cycled several times before the LP reaches the water heater to ignite. The heating process works at a quicker rate when using both LP gas and 120-volt AC power at the same time. The The comfort control located here in the living room is for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Zone 1 is for the living room and kitchen, and Zone 2, that's for the bedroom and bath. 4 points to remember here. First, the 12-volt battery cutoff switch at the entry door must be in the on position. Second, the comfort control must be turned on to operate any heating, ventilation, or air conditioning function. Thirdly, comfort control modes cannot be mixed. One area cannot be on cool, while another is on furnace. Finally, the coach will not heat or cool any faster by selecting a very high or very low temperature setting. The control in the living room operates on Zone 1, the front roof air conditioner and heat pump, as well as the propane furnace or the optional AquaHot system. On Zone 2, it operates the roof air and heat pump in the bedroom. The different functions of the system can be operated by repeatedly depressing the mode button. The fan button controls the roof air conditioner fan speed. 3 speeds are available: low, medium, and high. Fan speed control applies to the roof air conditioner's blower speed only. Selecting the fan speed auto adjusts the fan speed automatically, depending upon temperature set point and actual temperature in a selected zone. The roof air conditioner will use all 3 blower speeds when auto fan is selected in cool mode. If operating in heat pump mode, only low or high blower speeds will be used. To operate the optional AquaHot system while connected to shore power, turn on both the 110-volt element switch and the diesel burner. If, however, you're not connected to shore power, you'll want to operate the AquaHot system without the 110-volt element, as it will quickly drain your batteries. The switch will illuminate when the AquaHot is on. Allow 20 to 30 minutes for the AquaHot to reach operating temperature before operating the heat exchangers or using hot water. Allow 2 to 3 hours for the AquaHot to reach operating temperature when operating from the electric element. If you're plugged into anything less than 50 amp shore power, use caution to not overload the shore circuit breaker. In that case, you may want to use the diesel burner to bring it up to operating temperature. Use the AquaHot thermostat to set room temperature. The AquaHot burner provides virtually an endless supply of hot water. The 110-volt switch keeps the system hot for small amounts of hot water while you're under shore power or while operating your generator. It'll also keep the system warm in mild conditions. The AquaHot heating system can also preheat your engine block in cold climates. Simply turn on the switch at the control panel 2 or 3 hours prior to engine start. The outlet for the front TV is controlled by the ignition switch, so the front TV can only be viewed while the ignition is off. The TV operates from 120-volt AC power only, which can be provided by shore power, the generator, or the inverter. Viewing time of the front TV from the inverter depends on the state of charge of the house batteries and any additional 12-volt DC lighting systems being used. The coach is also equipped with a television antenna with built-in electronics which uses 12-volt DC to boost signal strength. To use this feature, turn on the 12-volt battery cutoff switch located at the entry door. Weak or fuzzy signals may be improved by the boost, which kicks in automatically when you turn on your video selector box above the VCR. The booster in the passenger overhead compartment and the antenna work together to provide the best possible picture in most situations. However, there are times when your signal may be a bit fuzzy. Try lowering the antenna. That may help. To raise the antenna, rotate the crank clockwise. To turn the antenna for best reception, pull the outer ring down and rotate. When you're ready to stow it, turn it so that it lines up with the arrow and then crank it counterclockwise. The video selector box has a power button that, when on, supplies 12-volt power to the antenna to improve your signal. The selector box has 3 sections consisting of Main TV, Recording, and TV2 section. AUX is for extra inputs like a video game. SAT for the satellite. TVANT is for the roof antenna. VCR is for the video recorder, and Cable TV is for the cable. The DVD will play with any of these inputs selected. To use the Sony surround sound with your TV, the surround system and VCR must be on. Turn on the TV you're going to use. Select the source you wish to view on the video selector box. Using the function button on the surround system remote control, select Video 1 or Video 2, depending on how your coach was wired. If you want to use the DVD, select DVD on the surround system by using the function button once again. Then push the Who Input button on the universal remote. Using the surround system remote, you will have a variety of sound options to select from. Choose the type you want to listen to, adjust your volume, and you're all set to enjoy your home theater system. To extend the awning, hook the pull strap loop with the awning pull rod. Pull the strap until the awning is at full extension. With your free hand, pull out the inner arms. Mate the slot of the inner arm with the hook on the side of the motorhome. Repeat the procedure for the other arm. Release the strap slowly, ensuring inner arms are secure. To unlock the awning, loosen the black locking knobs. Lift the arm storage locks located on each upper arm to the unlocked position. Slide the brake control, located on the front arm only, to the full up or unlock position. To extend the patio awning, hook the loop of the center pull strap with a pull wand and draw the awning away from the motorhome to the desired extension. Slide the center pull strap to one end of the awning and store it. Slide the inner rafters to the top of each arm and push outward to tension the canopy. Tighten the black locking knobs. Raise the arm extension lock handles and slide the awning upward. Lower the lock handles and move the awning arm upward or downward to lock the detent into the hole. You may want one end to be lower than the other, usually the back end of the coach, to drain rainwater. To use the carport feature, swing the arm away from the coach to an upright position. Drive the stakes through the bottom holes in the arm. Repeat the procedure for the other arm.